Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is CasualDadPlays Timberborn, and you're looking at the settlement of New Babylon. Our ultimate goal? Rebuild the hanging gardens with water cascading down into little pools that then cascade down out into a moat. But before we can even dream of that, we've got some work to do. See, today we're going to be pumping some poison poo water, digging through the wreckage of the old world, and of course, making things go kaboom! So let's get started. So I just realized something as we are finishing our building queue. I need a smelter to finish our bad water pumps. So we're getting that queued up, and then also, when a bad water happens, we're going to be contaminated. So I don't want to do the triple platforms or double platforms, but don't really have much choice because the suspension bridges are the science. You know, we need the science, and that's what I'm a little concerned about. But I think we're gonna have to. Once we get the science, we're gonna have to put a gap over here, and we'll make it look pretty later, coming straight across, but we gotta do something to avoid getting sick beavers. But yeah, so what we're doing is we're gonna be blocking this off to keep as much during the dry season as possible until we get to the point where we can unlock the discharge and maintain that no matter what. And then blocking this off to keep as much fresh water over here during droughts, just to keep things as green as possible. Since there's different levels, we're not gonna be able to keep it all green, but some green is better than no green. We finally have all of our compact water wheels hooked up, so we got 1,000 right now. Power coming through. We'll see what we need. And we can see how well our drought protection goes. So yeah, so we're short on some beavers, but I mean, we could have a lot more. And so before I forget, we're gonna close that up to force all the water this way. And I've noticed it doesn't really matter. So we're gonna close that up to just keep as much back as possible. Just gonna make sure everything's closed up, and hopefully this gets done in time. I do have it top priority, so it should get done. But now that we're stockpiling some gears, let's get that a little bit higher priority so we can get those going. I'm also slowly building another couple of barracks so we can pump our population up, as well as another breeding pod. We'll just have to manage that to make sure we have everything. But, you know, our well-being is slowly picking up. So as we wait on the last few things to be built, we can keep growing our population. Everything's looking good so far. We shortly will have our bad water online. And, you know, we're looking pretty good on scrap metal. And so the next thing we are going to unlock, we got 400 for the science, for the explosive factory. I don't know why my brain blanked out, but it did. And so we're gonna need to get that done a little faster. I really don't want to put in the platforms, but I think I'm gonna have to. I cannot afford to have sick beavers. And I don't know that we're gonna be able to go right there. Let's just come this way. That will be our next highest priority because we cannot have sick beavers. No, I want just this one. Evidently it took them all. It's fine. We will take care of everything in just a minute. It's always funny seeing the beavers who are already queued up to go and do stuff. We'll leave this down here in case we need to come over here for anything, but we're going to set this to high priority. Do not want any contamination. That's going to slow us down, and we do not want to slow down. At least because of that. Almost done with the gears. So that is good. Our berries are looking real nice. Our water's looking pretty good. Gonna need another water pump here soon. And we'll probably put it over here. I did not hold that up, so that was bad. We should be fine though. Probably going to put the pump, I don't know, somewhere over here. Once we clear this out. I actually may have to put it here. I'm trying to find a good spot. Yeah, this is not too bad. Let's go ahead and let's see if it works. We got a couple pumps queued up, but we're gonna put those as low priority. We're not in too much of a rush. I just have noticed that we're gonna need some more water pumps soon, so might as well get those taken care of. But yeah, slowly but surely. Always at the beginning of these Timberborn games, it takes a little bit of time to get going, especially with the iron teeth, since you have to use these breeding pods instead of just having open slots in your buildings. So we're gonna get there, don't you worry. Trying to push to 40 population as soon as I can, because we do have a lot of empty jobs. That's going to help us expand pretty fast, because what I want to do pretty quickly is optimize for bots so that they can just work nonstop, because we're gonna have a lot of work to do, and so we're gonna need those bots going pretty quick. I'm undecided whether I come back here to this back corner and make a industrial facility or not. Or do I just keep using the temporary one I have and move later? I'm still wondering about that, because I think we could put everything underground and come up in the corner and have it zigzag in the corner, and then have the immediate from there we could have bots being made over there, and then just through this channel we could run our power back to the main hubs and just put the power underground in the streams. You know, there's a few different things that we have available to us now that we have tunnels, but tunnels are 2K, so that is going to be a little while before we can unlock that. So yeah, that's just kind of the general plan. We got to wait for this bad tide, or this drought, not bad tide, this drought to end, and keep on building our kaboom factory. So let's just oh, this is so pretty. I love this. The fire makes me want to go outside and have a fire right now. How about you guys? Let me know if you like having fires and s'mores in the comments, but down below. I love it. So we are yeah, so we're gonna check back in on these beavers after they've had some time to empty out the build queue and get through this drought. Alright, we let a little water out to generate some power so we could finish off our smelter. And here shortly, when the drought ends, we will finally be able to get those metal blocks online and start going to work making our bad water pumps that then can make us our kaboomies. So this is gonna be, it's about to start ramping up real quick. I'm thinking this one, because we have these out here, so we don't need these anymore. we're gonna put these like this. We're just gonna set them to just a good old normal acceptance use. And that will be good. Alright, we're about to get our next barracks online, so we don't have to worry about any baby beavers sleeping on the ground. That would be not very good. Let's see, how are we doing for our... So we got a lot of cassavas. This is going to be supplying. We got fermented cassavas there and fermented cassavas there. So we just need some power and we need some workers. We're going to take a worker to do that. That's going to be looking pretty good. You just need this bad tide. I keep calling droughts bad tides. I mean, technically it's a bad tide because we don't like it. It's bad for us. Once this drought ends, we'll really get to be shaking and moving and grooving. You know, in this drought, I'm noticing our food supply is not doing great because we're losing about half or more of our plantable space. So what I've done is, until we get the science to really unlock proper floodgates, is I'm going to do 2 levels of levees with the dam on top so that we keep even more water back here than before, and this will still spill over to give power. But we really need to keep as much water back here. And one of the first things we're going to do when we get the dynamite unlocked is we are going to lower this all down so it's the same level right here, all throughout here. We're going to then level this all out so it's all the same level as this deep part, and same thing for here. We want to get that as deep as possible, and we'll put wherever our food is, we'll put, you know, the floodgates as high as we can to keep as much as we can. That is then until we get that 2000 science, then we can use our tunnels to go under the roads and bring irrigation all the way through here. That will be nice. One thing that I think we will have to do later with either levees or dirt is on this side, how it steps down right here, we'll have to come in here and build up another layer all the way around. This is all lower. We'll have to build that up so we can potentially have to build that up. We'll see what comes of it, but for now, we we got almost 3 times as much power as we need, so not hurting there. Normally I don't do a good job about that, so I'm pretty proud of myself. Doing a pretty good job. You're not connected to the city district. How are you not connected? Oh, are you up a level? Ah, I always forget that they're twice the size. I was very curious. Do we do that? Or they haven't started building this. So why don't we, because that's pretty expensive. I don't want both of those. Let's just do that. This will be good. And we'll make that pretty high priority. How are we looking? We're at 23 beavers, 3 babies, 4 open jobs. Now let's get this thing made, because this is going to be high priority job. Get some bad water moving and grooving. Alright, that means also 400 means we can get an explosive factory. So the problem is, well, it's not a problem. We can come up here and we can do this right here. We're going to take out this road. And then we're gonna add in our kaboomies. That's gonna be good, actually. I like that. I like that a lot. That is the next priority, so we can get to some terraforming. Because we're the Iron Teeth. We don't dig and build like other beavers, we blow things up. All right, so we'll lower that. We don't have anything else for metal blocks to use. We probably let's empty that, because we probably need to turn this into metal block storage. Since it's right there, we got plenty of planks. Until we need more, we'll just start stacking vertically if we need more. Yeah, we're looking good. We're looking good. Once we get our kaboomies going, I'll show you the first things we kaboom. All right, we have a bad tide approaching, so we're going to see how well our system keeps our food alive. Let's go ahead and get that blocked up, and we'll see what happens. We'll have to block this one as soon as it starts. We want to keep as much water in here as possible. I guess we could probably do it right now, actually. That's gonna be fine. Is it? Oof. So that's why we need this to be deeper for our berries. That's fine. We need to control our berry patch anyways. We're gonna have to come in here and tear some of it out and keep it pretty small size. So that would probably be pretty good right there for now. Now let's see what happens when the bad tide gets here. All right, now it's here. Let's see what we got going on. Oh, that's what I was afraid of. Too much water flow. Yeah, we're probably going to need to do the same things here. Probably need to make a little bit of a dam section. Make it a little bit higher to control it better. But we're going to watch and see if anything happens to the beavers. It doesn't look like it's too bad. It is taking away some more of the land. Yeah, there it goes. This is not great. We do have quite a bit of food stockpiled, so we should be able to get through this. It was only one day. We're almost done already. Doesn't look like too much of the food is gonna die. But yeah, so that we gotta go back to the drawing boards. It's not gonna work. I have an idea. I'm gonna build it, and we're gonna see. All right, we have our kaboomy factory done, so that is good. We're gonna start making some. We already have 5. We're gonna get our stockpile open, and then what I decided to do over here is we're going to do similar to this. We're gonna put one level of levees, put some other levees, and then have our single floodgates to try and direct the flow. This, of course, is temporary. As we saw, it did not go very well in our first test run, so yeah, we're gonna have to do something different. And so that's what we're gonna do. Let's get our stair in here so that we can get all of these. Path was too far. We need another set of stairs just to make sure. Just to make sure. We're going to let that run as top priority, that and our storage for our kablooies. We need that. We're looking pretty good everywhere else. We do have a slightly contaminated beaver, that's fine. We have 11 openings, 6 babies, 15 open beds. But we are looking pretty good. We're going to definitely need somebody in here. Okay, kohlrabi, that's good. Cassavas, that's what you're focused on. Let's not have that higher priority. The haulers are nice. I want haulers, but right now we just need so much. It's so much more important to have other jobs that I want to minimize that. But once we get a few more beavers, we're going to make sure our city center, our district center is full, and we have more haulers, but we just need to get that number down some more, and we'll be good to go. So let's get them. They're almost done building this new diversion system. It worked pretty well on the other side, but we need to get it going on this side better. So we'll check back in a little bit. Alright, we have unlocked our first level of dynamite, which means we are in Operation Lower the Water Table. So we're going to just set that there, and we're going to let them come in here and do their work. This also is going to be good because it's going to give us access to come under the roads once we get our tunnels. That's a lot of science. Whew. So we're going to be building some new science inventors soon. Once we have all the jobs filled, that's going to be the next job, is more inventors, because we need 2,000 pretty fast. But that'll come, especially as we are working and designing on other parts of the city. One thing I have thought about is making a poor man's cover for now to stop this, put it under pressure. I haven't fully decided, but yeah, something I'm thinking about. Because you just come in here with your overhangs, you know, and you just go right across, and then put blocks around it, and seal the top with some blocks. Good to go. But we'll see. We'll see. Not in any sort of rush there. But just getting that prep for when we shove it down underneath. I'm really not going to do too much digging down until we have, like, to get over here, until we have our double dynamite and our tunnels unlocked. Because what I'm going to want to do is, I'm going to need a centrifuge, obviously, but then the battle rod discharge. So I can put it there, I can close it off, we can dig down, get everything prepped, get it all the way over here, have this one also closed off, get everything situated, open them up, and don't have to worry about any contaminated beavers ever again. How lovely. At least I think it's lovely. We are also going to be getting some lumberjacks. We really need to clear this off. We may replant, which you can see here, but for now we have a lot of wood, and we need to get that cleared out as soon as we can. Let's check on our progress over here. Looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. Is there anything that's too far from district? Well, that's because that has to be built, but that's fine. We're gonna let that run, and we'll be back with you in just a blink of an eye. All right, y'all. We have our bad water being pumped in. We're having some dynamite made. We've got our scrap being turned into metal, and we have our beavers laying our massive amount of boom that's coming soon. We're going to end the episode with the big kaboom, but you can just see where it's at. This is going to do a couple things. One, obviously it's going to lower our temporary reservoir that will eventually come in and cap as we are going to pipe it over to our reservoir in the sky that's going to be in this corner. So that's going to help feed us through droughts until we get there. The second thing is it's going to give us access to tunnel under our road network and get all this lovely area greened in. And so that's going to be lovely. Not to mention the big kabooms. We're going to do it at night, because who doesn't like fireworks at night? And just to give you a little sneak peek, while I was away, I did the footprint for the lowest level of the Hanging Gardens. This is 40 by 40. We're going to come in at 5 by 5 for the next level. So we'll probably have 4, maybe 5 levels total for the ziggurat. And what we're going to do is we're going to use the ladder mod for our intra level movement, because we're going to go probably as high as this barrack, and then we'll put platforms on top, and that will be the first level. Platforms or dirt, depending on where it is and what we have going on. And so then we'll use our tube ways to just keep climbing up. That'll be our inter-floor mode of transportation, as well as getting out to all of our different corners of the map to do the different projects we have, because in the end we are going to basically get rid of all this land. We're going to have just a nice little moat here where the water cascades down into the moat, which means we're going to have to move our food probably to this area, and then we're going to have this area to be our tree farm, and then back in the corner we're going to have our mega power plant as well as our storage, and we're going to come up with some pretty interesting designs for everything. I'm going to use the new 3D terrain mechanics to see what we can't come up with. We're going to do some stacked food stories. This is the Iron Teeth after all, so not only do they have food factories, but they have turned growing food into a factory in and of itself. So you're going to want to stick around and see that. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you stay up to date on all the Timberborn videos and watch the progress. But that is just a little taste of what we got coming as the beavers are finishing this up, and yeah, it's gonna be good. Our limiting factor is gonna be how fast can we grow. I'm thinking we're gonna need somewhere around 150 beavers to get everything accomplished. Because what I'm going to do as we grow the ziggurat, we're going to redo the bottom layout. Right now we just have things here as we started, but essentially we're going to have our bottom level to be the amenities. Some of the water you see that's going to trickle in down, or that's trickling down the side, is going to trickle in. And so for instance, this quadrant may be a little swimming pool quadrant, and so we'll have some water amenities here, we may have some other amenities here, and that's what we're going to do. So the first level is going to be your amenities. So anybody visiting New Babylon will immediately be awed by the amount of amenities that we have. Then of course, as we move up, we will move up into immediately the worker quarters, where we'll have our builders, our haulers, things like that. And as well as our storage center. Then the level above that will be our housing. So third level will be housing. They're going to have some lovely views through the waterfalls, and can't wait to show you guys that. And then the top will be just to cap it all off, and we'll have some mega monuments up there to just show the beauty and the magnificence of New Babylon. And of course, on the sides, we're going to have our mangroves. We're going to have, we're going to have some coffee brewery. We're going to have all kinds of things around the side. And so, unfortunately, there's not really any water plants except for the mangrove, which is fine. It's still going to look good. But that's what we have in store. To give you a little sneak peek, it's gonna be some mega building projects, because you see all these water sources, they've got to be capped off and fed into the mega spring. And I've also just had a thought. So tell me in the comments what you think about this. I'm thinking we'll have enough power, but I'm going to split it off, and I want to have a recirculation. Okay, so not only will it be spring fed, but there's going to be kind of some stair-step type of things. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the deep mechanical pumps, the maximum depth of 8. Okay, so I'm going to, for instance, have 4 layers of water here that pump up to the top. And then they'll be pump up, 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 and away until our water gets put back to our reservoir. So we will never run out of water, is the goal, at least. And we'll minimize how much water is run off the map, so that we'll survive any drought that comes our way. But I've droned on enough. You're tired of listening to Casual Dad, so let's just enjoy a little bit of a beaver boom time montage. All right, we are finishing up the last little bit of explosives, and then that means tonight will be time for some kaboom. We unfortunately got some beavers contaminated and injured in that last bad tide, and then the injuries, of course, are coming from the heavy industry that we have going. So we are going to we're gonna have to up our population real quick for that, and then there's gonna be there's the last bit of dynamite, and so I'm gonna show you some other things that we've done. We of course putting in more food, some more kohlrabi and cassavas as needed. This little patch is not going to do great because of the bad tides. We're going to continue working on that. Did have a problem where it was not going fast enough. I did not do my calculations right, so I had to unlock the double floodgates and get them to be built next. And then also what I realized while we're doing that little montage is that the beavers were just going too slow from the bad water to the dynamite to over here. So, and knowing that that's going to be a problem in the future as well, I went ahead and set up some tubeways on platforms so that they're elevated out of the way. This will be good for later when we want to, come in here for our amenities. We're going to have most of them elevated anyways, so that we have pools of water for this section, for instance. So it was going to be needed. So we went ahead and did that to make not just this build faster, but all the other ones faster and easier. I also want double floodgates over here. We're going to be working on that in the background. It's not super important because we already have stuff there, and we got some more important things to do. But we're going to have double floodgates. I tried the single floodgates with on top of a levee. It just wasn't working. Same thing for over here. We're going to need to take these out and put double floodgates in as well. That way we don't hold any of the bad tide as it comes through, and we can drain that faster. Doesn't affect us quite as much. And then I know we literally just built these, but we're gonna have to do something about that. I don't know what I'm deciding on for next episode. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come in here and I'm actually gonna make floodgates for in here, because there's nothing stopping it from flowing backwards. We have the science and we have the materials for sluice gates. So what I'm thinking is this is what we're gonna do. The problem is this water source right here on the edge. We're going to have to put some levees up and get the sluice gate like this. That's what I think will actually be better, more beneficial for our beavers long term. And so we're gonna do that. We tried our temporary stuff, and it worked for a little bit, but now that we're growing and expanding, we definitely need something better. Better for our colony, better for our beavers. You know what? Since we're actually going to cap that off, can I... You can't do it that way. I forgot. I don't want to spin that right now. We'll just put that there. Actually, let's not do... Oh, yeah, we'll do that, because we'll probably end up platforming most of this anyways, so this is going to be one of those high priority things. We're going to actually make it not the highest, next highest. We want the 2 ways to be the highest, so we increase our production flow, logistics flow, and then after that we need to get this done so that we make sure we have plenty of water, and later we will have this back here redone. We need floodgates there, but they're not being built yet. I'm still kind of up in the air. Do I want floodgates or do I want more sluice gates? I'm thinking floodgates or sluice gates down here. So whenever, well, but if it's not the trigger for contamination, yeah, it's just a hard thing. I'm like, because I don't want to have to be manually messing with it. So we'll think through that. Maybe it's a downriver thing. I don't know. We'll work on that. If we have to do floodgates, we do floodgates. But we're looking good. Our food is pretty good. We need to get some more fermented cassavas, but our cassava took a bit of a hit right there. So that's why it's crucial to get all of this going. And yeah, so we're about to do that as soon as nighttime comes. But to give a little preview, all right, so we're going to excavate under this to turn this green. I've said that many times, but we're finally going to get to that. And then I think what we're going to do is we're going to focus on a better bad tide diversion system, because what we have right now just is not cutting it. And what I'm thinking is, I come in here and I clear out, it's got to be a lot. I clear out a section like this, and when I get over here, this is like all I want them to work on. Clear out a section of this, and then we'll come in here and we'll dynamite it, and then we'll put sluice gates up here, and then we will change all these out to be sluice gates. So we'll let the bad water up a little bit. There's something like 5% bad water is not bad for the beavers. So once this one hits 1% contamination, it's going to start flooding, and these will be 5%. So keep letting the good water through until we get bad water. I think that's what we're going to do, so we don't have to worry about floodgates down there. We're going to just put sluices down there eventually to control the water level on the out. That's what I'm thinking. And we're going to have to also get some more beavers. I don't want to do bots yet, but we just keep getting injured beavers because of the this area. We do have a lot of replanting we need to do so we don't run out of wood. So we got a little bit of maintenance to do, next time. We'll figure that all out in between episodes, and make sure you stick around and enjoy your Timberborn Saturdays as we build New Babylon. And without further ado, we're going to have nighttime boom time. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Stick around for that boom time, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.